Welcome back to my channel. This is Stoney, and thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with me today. You're always welcome. You know this. Even the sun's out today to greet me with her presence. I don't get to see her very often, and I always appreciate her beaming on my big old head. So why are we here today? Well, people are actually asking me on my videos through comments or my email how to use a gold pen. Yes, people like this still do exist. I can't fault them because I was that person in the past before, and I bet a lot of you were too watching this video too. Now, there's a lot of different techniques and tricks out there, and there's a lot of things that you can do, but there's some things that you should do, and that is just practice, practice, practice. I guarantee the first time you use a gold pen, it's gonna feel clumsy, it's gonna feel unnatural, you're gonna have stuff flying out of it, you're gonna get all wet and dirty, but that's all right, that's part of learning how to prospect. I'm going to show you just a couple simple techniques how to use a gold pan. This is going to build your confidence up, so when you go out to the creek and actually prospect for gold, you can sit there and know confidently that you are not losing gold and you're doing it the right way. So let's grab a pan. If you want to sit outside and enjoy nature, go ahead and do that, and let's practice how to gold pan. Let's start. First things first, we gotta talk about the pan, so let's start there. What color should we use? Well, they make blue, green, black, pans made out of metal. They have probably pink pans and purple pans. Just use whatever pan you want. It's your personal preference. Personally, I started using a black pan. It worked okay, but once I started using a green pan, I fell in love, and I'll never use any other color besides maybe blue sometimes. The gold really pops out on the green background of this pan. Now let's talk about sizes. This is a 14-inch. It's my GPAA gold catcher. This is my go-to pan. I love this pan. This is a 10-inch. They make a 8-inch, a 6-inch. They probably make a 2-inch pan if you want to. The different sizes of pans matter how refined you want to get the material and how small you're working it. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's just stick with my 14-inch gold pan right here. Now, a lot of gold pans are shaped kind of like a saucer. It's like an upside down UFO, okay? All right. And it has riffles built into one side of it. Maybe they're on this side too, but most of them is just on one side. Gold gets trapped in these riffles and it won't go out your pan. They're also shaped, like I said, like a saucer, so all your lighter materials are gonna go off the top and your heavy materials are gonna sit at the bottom. So now what? Next, we gotta talk about gold because that's what we're after, right? Gold is in this little vial right here. This is from my creek of stuff that I found the last couple weeks. I'll show you this a little bit later, but gold is a super dense and heavy metal. It actually weighs about 20 grams per cubic centimeter. Super dense. It's 20 times heavier than water as well. So when gold gets into a gold pan, it's going to go into the bottom of the gold pan and it won't come out. It's probably the heaviest material you're going to be working on the creek. What we're going to do is we're going to simulate gold by using lead. Lead's another very heavy, dense metal, but it actually weighs 12 grams per cubic centimeter. So it's about half as light as gold, but it's a great material to use to practice gold panning because you'll always find lead when you're gold panning. You usually always find lead and gold because lead's everywhere and it's in a lot of the fisheries, and prospectors are known for finding a lot of lead. So we're going to use this as our test today. So now let's go put it in some material and put it through a pan. All right, well, if you're at home, go find some dirt in the backyard. If you live next to like a stream or something, go down there and scoop out some of that material, gravels along the bar. You just want to work with some type of sand, gravel material, okay? Now, I have a creek right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple scoops like this. Just slap it in your pan. Don't want to put too much. Let's just do about that much right there, okay? Just about 3 or 4 scoops. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to grab our lead, and I'll come over and show you what I'm going to put in there. This is the lead I'll be putting into my pan. You want to make sure you take a good count of it because you want to see the same amount of lead when you're done panning. This is 5 larger pieces, and then I have 10 smaller pieces right there. Now take your lead and dump it into your pan with all your material. Now we're gonna put some water in there. Now for you at home, go get yourself a bucket or a tote, put water in there, and you're gonna use that as your creek or your stream to flow water in and out of your pan. I don't have that here, so I'm gonna use the creek, and I'm gonna use my other pan here to put my material in there as I am going back and forth. So this is my pan full of material. Let's add some water into it. You can have it fully submerged if you want to. That much water. You can do a little bit of water like that. But all you want to do is start shaking it. You can go really rough with this. You don't have to be light. Just shake it. You can do swirls. You can go back and forth like this. The whole point is to agitate and stratify the material. It almost, if you put your finger in here, your finger goes right to the bottom. It's not touching any dirt. That's what you want. That's telling you that the lead and the gold is going right to the bottom of the pan. I'll give you a couple close-ups. This is where a lot of other techniques start to show. People will only go like this. People will go like this. It really comes down to what you're comfortable with. And as long as you are finding the gold and the lead in this case, after each time you practice, you know you're doing it the right way, okay? Now, once you stratified it enough, go ahead and tip the water out. It kind of looks like that. You can see all the lighter, bigger rocks are at the top, and you should have blacker sands underneath back in here on this bottom layer. Now, we can either put it in our pan, or in your case, your bucket or your tote, and you start going like this. Do 1, 2, 3. And you're gonna start seeing the lighter stuff come off the top and go back into the water. Once that's done, go ahead and reshake it up. And you want your gold pan kind of tilted at an angle, kind of like that when you're doing this, okay? Almost like a 30-degree angle. That way that lip right there at the bottom is the very furthest, most bottom portion of your gold pan. That's what you're trying to strive for. So keep shaking it again, let it stop, and pull back about 2 or 3 times, and let all the lights come off the top. If you got a lot of big rocks on the top, you can take your fingers and go like this. I guarantee you, you're not losing any of your gold. Okay? Sometimes there's just bigger rocks up there. You can get them out of there a lot faster. Keep working it. You're going to work this down until you have basically about a tablespoon worth of material, maybe a bit more. So you got a big rock right here, throw that baby out. Now you're left with about this much. Now what you want to do, this is called a back panning method, okay? You want to shake all the material to that front lip. Kind of makes like a little smile, okay? You don't need much water for this portion. It looks like that. Now we can just go back and forth with our pan. Back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes I like to swirl a little bit. Back and forth, back and forth. All your lighter stuff is coming down, going to this side of the pan. Once you get some right there, and you want to take it out, just dip this back into the water like this and wash it out. Go ahead and put more water in there and start shaking it some more. You're going to rinse and repeat. You're going to keep doing this. Keep doing this. And you can already see the lead showing up at the bottom of my pan. Okay? Up. So what's happening is that my lead's kind of rounded, so it wants to roll back. So let's do this very carefully here and move this material to the back of my gold pan here. See it move? Just wants to roll. It might be easier to take your lead, go ahead and grab a hammer and smash it flat. You could definitely do that with your lead. So I'm going to move these off to the side here. Okay, that's what I have left in my pan right here. Can you see it? Let's count these out. I got my 5 big ones right here. I have, get back up there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got all my small BBs up there as well. Let me give you a closer view. There's all my lead. I didn't lose a single piece. So that's pretty cool. We lost 0 lead into the creek, or in your case, into your home tote or bucket. That's what's supposed to happen. So now what do we do? Well, we rinse and repeat. We practice over and over and over again until we get really good at it and we can get a lot faster. That first time, that pan might have taken you a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes. That's fine. But now let's do a speed pan and see how fast we can go through this. And this is with years of practice knowing how to gold pan. All right, my lead's already at the bottom of my pan. Just gonna scoop some more dirt and gravels and stuff in here. Just like that. That's enough. Now, let's really shake it up. I just want to show you, you can really work this. It's not going to go anywhere. The gold's going to stay. Look at how violent I am with this pan. Okay? The gold's already trapped. It's already at the bottom of my pan. I'm not going for some world record here with panning, but just trying to give you an idea of how fast you can really go through and do this. And that's just with practice. See how far I am already? Okay, you can already see the lead showing up right there. So let's go ahead and put some water in here. Let's do our backwash. Okay, let's just start going. And this takes some technique too. Learn how to do this backwash. Everything takes technique. Remember, it might be a good idea for you guys at home, guys and gals, to just take your lead and just smash it. Make it a little smaller so it's not rolling out. Okay? Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. They're rolling away, but they're all rolling away, but they're all up there. See? And I was pretty rigorous with that. Okay, so now what's next? Well, there's things online where you can buy pay dirt. Now, this was given to me by a fellow YouTuber, MJ, IRL, Mary Jane. You know who you are. Thank you. I'm not going to open this up because I want to keep it. But this is called pay dirt, and it usually comes with a guaranteed amount of gold. I'm not sure what's in here. It could be a 1/4 gram, 1/2 gram, 1 gram of gold. But you can use this the same way you use the lead, and you can see if you're capturing gold pretty much in your living room. So you can take your tote with your gold pan, dump this into the gold pan, and you can find gold and master and see how well you're capturing gold. The beauty about using a tub is that after you find all the gold in your gold pan, put that off to the side and then take your tub, dump that back into your gold pan and pan that down to see if there's any gold that got out of your gold pan. If gold did, and some might, it's not going to always stay in there. It depends on the size and shape of the gold. It could float right out. You can use jet dry. But anyway, that just gives you more confidence to saying, okay, I did really well. My technique is good, and I'm capturing all the gold that I put in there on that first initial pan. So without using this, I'm going to take my snuffer bottle full of gold from the creek that's natural, and we're going to do the same thing, put some rocks and material in there and pan that down and see if we find that gold. Okay, I just stuck some water in my pan. I'm going to take a couple scoops of the gravel right here. 1, 2, let's do 3. Here's the gold in my snuffer bottle. I'm going to dump this in here. Don't worry, I'm not losing it. It's going nowhere. This is essentially the same thing as using your pay dirt at home. Okay. Now I don't have a certain amount in here. I don't know, but I know there is probably a good 30, 40 pieces of gold in there. So now let's go put it in the water and pan it down. Using the exact same techniques as I just showed you using the lead. Now if I do drop out some gold here, it's very easy. I can take my scoop it out right here, and I already have it recovered. Dump it out, go ahead, let your lights come off the top. Stratify, lights off the top. Pull these heavier rocks off the top, get them out of here, don't need them. Remember, you can be pretty fierce with this. Bigger rocks off. That's probably good. Okay, so I got maybe a teaspoon, tablespoon left in there. Now we're gonna start bag washing again. There's a big piece of quartz right there. Gold's already showing up. Little tap method that actually brings the gold back up. If you tap it and kind of hold your gold pan at a slight angle up and wash it back. And then tap it. See the gold in there? Whoa. Let me bring you a bit closer. There's the gold right there. And that's it, pretty easy, right? Gold panning is not that hard. I showed you just a couple techniques. There's a lot more out there, but what I need you to do is practice, practice, practice. Put some lead with some material, and if you keep recovering it over and over and over again in different conditions with different material, you're doing it the right way. There is no wrong way, in my opinion, to prospect. People might think that, people might say that, but as long as you're recovering it, it's okay. Just have fun and enjoy the great outdoors. Also, if you can, if you do prospect and you do find your first piece of gold, let me know about it. I love hearing about everyone's first gold finding experience. Those are always the best memories to make, And those are the ones that you'll never forget. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you coming by. Check out more of my channel. There's a whole bunch more to offer. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll check you on the next one. Stoney out.